Okay, so I was half right. I was half right in my second quartering video and half wrong. Now, what I was half right and half wrong about was towards the end when I was talking about how Jeremy's been doing everything. He went through all this trouble, and in the end, it cost him literally everything except taking down their channels, which they might get back. So that's what I was wrong about. In the end, they didn't get their channels back, but I was half right because now they still have the ability to be able to they have the ability to be able to make new channels, Warski and Flaked, right? So in the end, quartering didn't get what he wanted because he made them bigger. Apparently they capped out. What was their new benchmark? They broke a new record for themselves. It was like 17K concurrent viewers at their peak or some crazy shit like that. So more viewership. They're in the mouths of more people than ever. The drama has gone completely mainstream to the point that like everything from the lowest commentary channel up until like channels with hundreds of thousands to millions of subscribers are talking about this shit. And they can now come back to YouTube, possibly. So Jeremy got literally nothing. He threw away literally everything and got nothing in return, right? So the worst bargaining ever, the worst deal ever made, ever. Just imploded everything for nothing. Mistakes were made. Unforced errors were made, right? And this seems to be a habit. This seems to be a habit not just with Jeremy, but with everybody, right? Like everybody who seems to associate with Jeremy Hambley or take his side, they all seem to have this habit of making these unforced errors, of just imploding everything for no really good reason. And we're going to be going over one of that shortly. What's up, chat? Good morning, chat. Hail, chat. I hope you guys all hope you guys are having a good weekend. The weekend just started. It's been pretty good for me. I've been having a really great month. I'm not gonna lie. My latest video, it's been so long since I've had a video go this smoothly, right? This has kind of almost been like autopilot for me. I feel like even the Jeremy Hambley second video that I made, the Bull Apocalypse video, that was like the second easiest the third. The easiest video I made up until this one, right, was still probably the Review Tech USA Week of Humiliation video. That's still probably the easiest video I made. That was it. I was in cruise control when I made that second video on Rich. This new one, it's been pretty easy though. The video should be out before the last week. It will be out this month, but I'm trying to get it out not too late. Right? But we'll see. Anyway, hope everybody's having a good weekend. We're going to be talking about a friend of Jeremy. That's not me putting my words into this guy's mouth. He put his words into his mouth. This is what he said. He said that Jeremy has been nothing but nice to me, right? This guy is a friend of Jer, upper echelon. And hold on real quick. Let me put that on the screen. Actually, hold on. Let me put the VOD stream up first. So this is where the VODs, this is the playlist. All the VODs are going to go to, including this one. Now, anyway, on to this video. Well, first, hold on. Kimono Theater, thank you for the early $2. Orange Man Bad. Doom Studio. Oh, I see what you did there. Doom Studios, thank you for the 249 euros. His rep was a female, of course. Of course it was. Of course it was a lady. He was probably sending her money and shit too. Wait, Mikey is on time today? Yes, bro. Yes. Chibi Reviews in full force defending pedos for free. No more half measures, gay niggas. Okay. So this video, as you guys guessed, today is going to be, we're going to be going after, well, I was going to name this Sweepy Squad, but it's not really what this video is. This video isn't really about upper echelon trying to sweep it up for Jeremy. That's not really what he's trying to do. I mean, that's kind of what he's trying to do, but it's more like It's more like he's trying to damage control, like he's trying to mitigate he's not trying to deny that shit is bad. He's trying to make it seem not as bad as like what it looks like, right? He's trying to say, you know what, guys, we should ease up. We should ease up on Jeremy. You know, like he made some mistakes, but this is becoming a hate mob, guys, and we shouldn't be. I mean, the like to dislike ratio basically speaks for itself. It's like, look at that, bro. It's like a third of all the likes on the video, over a third of the likes in the video are dislikes, right? People were not feeling this. And I don't really think you can just put this on the casino sending its regards, on Worski and PPP sending people to like hate mob this video and downvote it in mass. Like, I watched a little bit of it. I stopped just a little bit through the video because bro's timing is completely just like, I don't know what he was going with. Like, I get maybe like the theme of the video. The theme of the video is like, we have these hate mobs where people like to swarm around like piranhas and make easy, low effort content, shitting on people and blowing shit out of proportion. Okay, you could make that case. You could like use that. But the examples that he uses, including Jeremy, are literally the worst examples you could use for this shit. Because pretty much everybody he's going to talk about in this video, except for like Mr. Beast, you could argue, completely 100% deserved every bit of scrutiny that they got. Like 1000% they did. Like Susie Lou 100% deserved all the hate that she got. She actually got off easy considering what she was caught with. She was literally mundane matting it up. See, this is what I'm saying. We have been so harsh. We were so harsh on mundane Matt all these years. But all these other people are doing basically the shit that mundane Matt did. And they get away with it. They get to keep having careers. Susie Lou fell off. She still gets to do this shit and like make content. Matt doesn't have that sort of. Matt had to completely change his format because his channel was dead because nobody even gave him a shot. But maybe that's his fault for getting, you know, involved in blood sports and the sector and all that other shit because, you know, they don't tolerate it as much over there. I guess outside of that, maybe that's Jeremy's problem too. Maybe Jeremy's whole problem was that he decided to go to war with like former sector niggas, and those are like the worst people from like blood sports in the sector are literally the worst people who you could ever beef with on the internet, like ever. Well, maybe not the worst. There are people who, you know, they go to worse. Well, no, because people down here, there's swatting, there's doxing, there's all this other type of shit. It didn't get to that level for Jeremy, but he picked very bad opponents. And flaggotry really isn't tolerated like it is over here. And this guy is going to try and do a lot of things, trying to make this seem like it's not that bad of a thing. Tom's public image is still cooked. I mean, I guess he's still basically, he was able to like put the worst shit to rest. The whole like age play shit. I mean, yeah, that's still up in the air. But the whole I'm beating bitches behind closed doors, he was able to like, you know, make that go. He's been able to sweep that up. And that was really what was important. What was important is that, look, dude, I'm not out here. I'm not Chris Browning my women. I'm not doing that. I'm just a freaky ass nigga. That's all it is. And okay, people can tolerate that. If you got enough clout, you can get away with being freaky, right? But, you know, things like beating women, that's something that you got to like nip in the bud right away. So Garfield's Bizarre Adventure, thank you for $5. EVS was begging hard for that stream link a little while ago. If you tell EVS that Pan is getting the link too, Evan will run away. Oh yeah, he was. He really, that's why I didn't give it to him, right? Because honestly, some blood sports, that would be some good content. But number one, he's just gonna like try and gaslight me. If I were to let Ethan Van Sciver on the stream, he would have just gaslit me for however long I kept him on and I didn't kick him, and he would bullshit or some shit, and then he would just use it for content later. And I'm not about to give you like easy content for you to just like try and bullshit, use some frognosis in my audience. We're not doing that. I'm not feeding you, Ethan. I'm not doing that. Video essay, thank you for $4.99. Oh man, I like that guy before he just pivoted to spamming marketing videos. Quiet Writer, thank you for $5. Mikey, have some dough. I'm on the path to be something Jeremy can never be. Debt-free. How does it feel, buddy? How does it feel to not be in mountains of debt while all your sources of revenue are just drying up like crazy? It must feel amazing, man. Tom is young Destiny? I hope not. I hope Tom can, like, here's the thing. Here's something that I realized about lolcows while I was researching for my latest video, is that every well, not every lolcow, but a lot of lolcows, and then we'll get into this video, but a lot of lolcows, they have moments where there's a moment of self. It's before they go full lolcow usually. They have, or maybe when they're in the early stages of lolcow dumb, they have like a moment of reflection, a moment of self-awareness where they're like, man, I'm kind of fucking up. I'm kind of going down a rough path. Maybe I should try and clean up my act and do better, right? Like we went over that last stream with Jeremy and his self-improvement channel. It was only 10 videos long, but there was this brief window right before he turned 30 where he's like, man, I'm a fat piece of shit. I'm a man-child. I got a drinking problem. I do nothing but stay in my house all day making videos for 14. I need to do something. I need to be better. He failed, but he tried, right? And this is the case with a lot of lolcows where there will be this brief window where they try to be better humans. They try and escape the subhuman vortex that is becoming a lolcow. And, you know, almost all of them fail, but it's possible. It's possible to pull back, right? And I feel like, you know, maybe because of this, maybe this drama with the e-girls, the BPD e-girls would be very good for Tom because it might prevent him from going down a similar path to Destiny in the future. Who knows? Time will only tell. Anyway, getting on to this Flaggot Defense Force video. Social media feeding frenzies, the quartering. He even names the video about the quartering. Like, you literally couldn't pick a worse topic for this video. But then again, he wanted views. So, you know, now that I think about it, we're not even a second into this shit, but I'm already, I'm only a second into this shit. I just thought, hey man, aren't you also like part of the feeding frenzy? Aren't you also a piranha who's trying to make some easy views, get some easy ad revenue off the quartering's name? Just because you're being nicer to Jeremy than we are, how are you any different? You're still a piranha. Piranhas aren't like, piranhas aren't malicious animals. They just bite because that's all they know how to do. You're still nibbling off of Jeremy's corpse, just sinking into the sea like the rest of us. What makes you so righteous? I don't know.
This video is brought to you by Incogni. Stick around to hear more about the special offer they're providing to the entire upper echelon community. Every so often, let's say maybe once per year on average, something happens. It's a little bit difficult to explain, but every once in a while on YouTube and other social media as well, individual creators inadvertently trigger something, which I call a feeding frenzy. And rather than lowering myself into the cesspit, which I have done before, by the way, I am not immune to that phenomenon, but rather than openly participate.
Oh, he's so good. He's so righteous, guys. This guy is so, he's not like us. He's not like us little drama whores, us drama mongers, us internet piranhas who go around picking off people so we can make a quick buck on the internet. He's better than all of us. He's too noble. He does other shit like marketing videos, right? Like he's in a way higher echelon. That's why they call him upper echelon, because he's above us peons, right?
In it this time, I want to take a step backwards and look at the entire concept.
MikeyNohMore, yeah.
Obviously,
thank you for the $5.
The catalyst behind why I'm choosing to do this video right now is Jeremy Hambley, also known as The Quartering, who seems to be the latest example in a long chain of prior instances where the actions and responses of a single larger creator turns into just a tidal wave of criticism from all corners of the internet. It starts off as...
Wait, hold up. How does his channel look right now? How does the Quartering's channel look right now? How's he holding up Because I heard that he's migrating full sell over to Rumble now. He just gave up. Everybody scared him off. Oh, wow, man. The race wars just began. See, look, this is how far quartering fell. You got Chud the Builder in the thumbnail. You got charged with murder on the thumbnail. You got the race wars just began. See, if this was a few years ago, this would have a couple 100,000 views, maybe over 500,000. But he can't even do that anymore, bro. Chud the Builder, reporting on Chud the Builder's arrest is not enough to even get him to crack 30K anymore, bro. It's over. It's over for this guy.
Necessary criticism, according to some people. But by the end of the cycle, it is a feeding frenzy. Certain channels are earning tens of thousands of dollars, relentlessly dissecting Jeremy's life right now. Others are openly lying about him for profit.
Get that money. Everybody get that money.
And even
we all eating good.
If the bedrock origin of the situation has merit, what we see right now is mob mentality. Let's go back in time. Understanding what the cycle is requires...
What if the mob is right, though? Like, what if this isn't like, they hated Jesus because he spoke the truth and they demanded that he be put on the cross moment? What if this is actually like, the KKK? The KKK in Georgia stringing up Leo Frank moment, where the mob is totally justified in fucking up this particular guy.
There's examples, and by the way, at the end of it all, I'm going to talk about how you avoid having this happen to you, because truth be told, it's not particularly difficult. You have to fight against your own baser instincts and ego, sadly, but avoiding the actual ravenous mob itself isn't all that hard to do. I'll start with Susie Lou. Susie Lou is an anime reaction YouTuber, which is pretty low on the internet totem pole, if we're being honest.
Okay, so this is his first example. His first example is a woman who was... The criticisms against her were 100% legitimate, right? This is one of the women. This is one of the people. Well, I said women like I'm skeptical. Like she's like, I don't believe she's actually a woman, but you know, it's like, this is one of the people who John Swan, back when he was still in like the goods, right? The good light of the commentary community. This is one of the people who John Swan made his name back in the day off of. And everybody just like they hopped on it because it was completely right. She did make low effort, even by reactor standards. Her shit was bad. And then she would flag down people with her fucking lawyer cuck boyfriend and shit, abusing the DMCA system. Everybody was right about Susie Lou. Why are you using her as an example?
Even though what she does is abundantly common on the platform, after being criticized for lack of fair use and other low effort uploads, she decided to fight the mob. She and her boyfriend, supposedly a lawyer, if I remember correctly at the time, began pushing back.
Yeah, Tipster too, Tipster, before he became a brave, beautiful woman. This is who he also, like, he was eating good off Susie Lou too.
Back fanning the flames, even reporting criticism of her under the harassment
in Bo Blacks,
or
everybody
cyberbullying category. And what followed was something I referred to at the time as the Susie Lou Gold Rush. Her career is over. She's the worst. Deplatforming, controversy, copyright abuse, and on and on and on it went. The term Susie Lou, back in the early 2020s, returned a never-ending fire hose of dramatic headlines and detailed updates about how categorically fucked Susie's entire life was. Except it wasn't. She's still here in 2026, double the size now at least, doing pretty much the exact same thing.
Really? I haven't kept up with Susie Lou in a very long time. Oh, wow. Well, you say double the size. I don't know. You say double the size. Let's see. What was she like when she was at her? Okay, so 5 years ago. No, bro. No. This is just like Jeremy Hambley's channel, right? This is just like the Quartering's channel. Technically, the Quartering has twice as many subscribers now as he did like a couple years ago when he was only at around 1 million subscribers. But he's making way less views. She was getting millions of views, hundreds of thousands of views. These days, she's basically like Jeremy. She struggles to break 20 fucking K. I'm surprised Toei don't like get on her ass.
Seems like she puts a little bit more.
Maybe it's because she's a white woman. Maybe white women just have like the privilege
in now, which is good. But the drama cycle that dominated the trending tab back then for weeks on end.
You know, I shouldn't say that because there are a lot of niggas with very, very lazy anime react channels too, and they also don't get taken down.
Eventually faded, because it always does. How about another example? Pirate software. Pirate software is an interesting...
Another perfect example of somebody who the mob was completely right. The mob was completely justified in tearing this dude apart, right?
And
he did it to himself, even more than Suzy Lu. Even more than Suzy Lu, Thor just completely, like, basically set himself up for destruction.
The hate mob got
he had no reason to oppose the Saving Games initiative.
So big, earning so much money in the process, it's still happening almost an entire year later. What began as a simple, smug mistake in a popular video game transformed practically overnight into a ravenous mob, earning...
No, bro, you got the timeline fucked up.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars collectively by just tearing his life apart. At first it was, he lies about credentials or fails to take accountability, but by the end of it all, people were interviewing his prior roommates that he lived with and talking about how messy he was. Entire channels...
Okay. And?
Rose and...
Were they swatting him? Because if they were swatting him or doing some shit like that, okay, that's crazy. But it's like...
And fell...
If people who knew this guy personally wanted to talk about what a piece of shit he is, that's kind of messy on their part, but still...
On the back of this drama, spamming out 15.
Also, something this guy is not mentioning. Something this guy didn't mention about Suzy Lu or about Pirate Software is that they were both flaggots, right? Especially Suzy Lu. Thor was like, his case was a little bit different. It was like Suzy Lu. Hold on, actually, hold on. There's actually a perfect... We're going to do something that nobody has done in years. We're going to look at a John Swan video real quick. We're not going to actually watch this shit. We're not going to actually watch this John Swan video. But there's this one part that I remember from this video.
RFC After Hours, where she attempted to give justification to some of the things she'd said and done over the past few days. During this stream, Suzy and her boyfriend, Stejo, both show their YouTube flag history.
This is the gayest looking straight nigga I have ever seen, bro. Like, I would not believe. Like, if you would have told me, if you hadn't told me this dude didn't have a girlfriend, I wouldn't have believed you.
Stejo's came out clean.
He's like up there with Elijah Schaefer for gayest looking straight nigga ever.
But Suzy, showing her flag history, might be the most iconic moment of all time on this show.
I got 5 minutes.
All right, then show your flag history. We don't need.
We need to see your flag history. I don't care. I want to see your flag history. I mean, this is vital. If you want to prove your innocence, you got to show your flag history.
Wait, hold up. Wait. Is that?
I don't care. I want to see your flag history.
Is that Ralph? Wait, Ralph gave Augie $1. Hey.
I mean, this is vital. If you want to prove your innocence, you got.
Ralph was supporting his little bro back in the day.
History.
Hey, is that Worski?
Why would I care to prove my innocence to a bunch of nobodies on the internet?
You're definitely not guilty. You flag tipster. Oh.
It's such a small world. Such a small world. Every time I watch a fucking documentary, I'm like, why are the same 10 people in almost every documentary? I keep seeing them.
Oh, no. Well, you gotta see video. We can't see that.
We need the screen share.
Hold on.
Lots of GG Reloaded though.
Just Monday completely, bro. It is like, how could you say that it was just a hate mob? Like, people were trying to tear her life apart. People who are flaggots, like, if you are a flaggot and you're a content creator, you deserve to have your fucking career ruined, in my opinion, right? That's like, outside of doing some actual real world crime for your content, or I don't know, even like outside of it, right? Like, if you're like trying to split puppies open or some shit like that, you deserve to have your career ruined regardless of what you do on the internet or not, you know, on some Zoo Crew type shit. But if you're a flaggot, right, you're like abusing a DMCA system, or you're like quartering, and you're going around it entirely to report people's whole channels and obliterate them, you deserve to have your career ruined because you're like destroying the whole ecosystem that you're a part of just because you don't like the opinion of people who talk about you. And oh, look at that. It's just fucking imagine flagging a video, calling you out for flagging people's videos. And not having any self-awareness. Then again, it could have been her gay-looking boyfriend who did it.
Yeah, lots of GG reload.
Anyway.
20, 30 separate videos about
Oh, this guy too. Thor, he also, I can't believe his name is Thor. His name is actually Thor. Jason Thor Hall. Pirate Software, he didn't flag down a video. He did like DMCA some dude's video game because there was like a parody character of him in the game.
Reveal details in the saga.
And he was proud about it too. He admitted it. He admitted it on stream that's what he did.
Rehashing.
Matter of fact, hold on, let me see something. I could probably find that real quick too. Let me see. Pirate Software. What was the video? Was this the video? I think this was the video.
Brandon Ferrantino.
Developer.
Live stream, Pirate Software spoke about receiving the counter notice and expressed his intent to sue the developer.
Hey, Kronos, we have to file a legal complaint against that dude earlier. I'm gonna pause this for a moment. There was a dude earlier today that went onto Reddit and said that he was using my voice in a video game, showed a bunch of videos of it, and then put that game up on Steam. A lot of people in the thread told him not to do that, that would end up being a legal problem for him. He did it anyway. So I filed a DMCA claim, and he has now filed a counterclaim against me. We're going to take you to court. You're going to lose. You cannot use somebody's...
Bro, imagine just saying this shit out loud on your stream and being proud about it, right? Like, it wasn't even a big thing. It was like, what was the game? It was like Idle Streaming Bonanza, right? And he wasn't even a main character in the game. He was like a minor part, almost like a little cameo, right? I'm pretty sure his character was voiced by Dan Saltman too, believe it or not. But anyway, it's like he say, oh, I'm gonna like take your shit down, I'm gonna sue you, and I'm gonna take you to court, and I'm gonna fuck you, you're gonna lose. This is why everybody hated this dude. This is why he was one of the nominations for top lolcow of 2025. He might end up winning again in 2026. He keeps fucking around. The internet doesn't forget, nigga.
Discoveries and turning this man's life into a veritable zoo exhibit where the most outlandish vocal and dramatic claims made the most money. It was a feeding frenzy, and certain people got rich. Yet another example, this time the largest YouTuber on the whole platform, Mr. Beast, it took place when he was accused of all sorts of workplace impropriety by former contestants.
Okay, so this one actually, More Pegasus just destroyed his career? Okay. So this is actually a case where I'm like, okay, yeah, people were actually, when it comes to the Mr. Beast shit, this really was just like YouTubers who were ambitious, who wanted to make some easy money, who wanted to maybe make their name off of taking down Mr. Beast. This is a case of the hate mob just being piranhas who were hungry to make a quick buck. That actually was the case for Mr. Beast.
An employee.
I'm not even saying that there are no legitimate criticisms you can make about Mr. Beast, but I will say the dude who initially made that first video that started all this shit, he was basically proven to be a fraud, and he got ran off the internet himself by another person making a big exposed video on him. So
I myself participated in that one under the justification that this was arguably...
Oh, okay, so you actually have also been a piranha yourself. Well, at least thank you for being honest, bro. Logistical Nightmare, thank you for a rage quit. Mikey, why'd you have to cover both EVS and Elijah Schaefer? I'm now forever mixing up the gay frogman and the schizo drug enjoyer.
Face of YouTube.
Sorry about that, buddy. Oh, wait, hold on. It was Potato Jelly. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, man.
Multi-million-dollar contracts with Amazon at the time, and thus any
Jeremy drinks his bull's milk. Thank you for the 6 gifted subs.
infraction on his part reflected badly on the entire YouTube platform. But even still, as the feeding frenzy escalated, I was an active participant, wrapped up in the process of update videos and new discoveries, all for the sake of...
It's funny how the one hate train that this dude decided to join in on was the least legitimate, like the least justifiable of the hate mobs, the one against Mr. Beast. That was the one that he coincidentally joined in on. Definitely had nothing to do with Mr. Beast being the biggest content creator on YouTube and pretty much everyone being able to at least get one little lick, score 100K view video off of slandering him for like a year.
Viewership and ad revenue. It's intoxicating. Regardless, my point with these examples is to demonstrate the cycle overall, where initial criticism gets met with pushback, sparking the insatiable mob mentality.
Garfield's Bizarre Adventure, thank you for another $5. Maybe EVS, maybe Quartering can use the EVS strategy. Go to Kiwi Farms and demand they go after Kino Casino. It went well for EVS when he tried that on Eric. Yeah, a lot of dudes. There are a lot of dudes who don't seem to understand that the farms is not their personal army. It's not really... Well, maybe it's Josh Moon's. Maybe Josh Moon's personal army, but it's not really anybody else's personal army. It's the personal army of the dude who owns the forum. And even then, like, not real. Like, there are times where it's like, you'll have, it's very rare, but there are times when you'll have moments in threads where the thread is actually shitting on Josh. Like, that happens. I remember that happening in the Dark Side Phil thread when, I think it was Josh was trying to do something to the thread because he thought they were annoying or they were doing something improper, and everybody in the thread for like a couple pages just started shitting on him for it. So even it's not even his personal army. It's more like his personal mob that he occasionally has to corral. Bean4509, thank you for $5. It's crazy how Jeremy doesn't even look human. He looks like a bug creature wearing a human skin suit, like that dude from Men in Black.
To a degree where empathy...
That's what happens when you drink since you're like in your late teens.
Reason, and especially rationality, leave the building entirely.
Jeremy drinks his bull's milk. Thank you for another 2 gifted subs. Very generous,
Everything you do online gets tracked, stolen, monetized, and harvested. A lot of people don't care about this. They click allow cookies and accept the terms without a second thought. But for anyone who understands what the information does and where it goes and all the different ways that it can be used to harm you, today's video's sponsor, Incogni, is here to help with that. Even after you discontinue a service or stop using an online platform, the information that they gathered about you, which is a lot, by the way, typically, the information they have about you goes on to be sold by data brokers all over the world for the purpose of junk mail, spam messages, identity theft even. If it gets
oh, wait, is that what this is? Oh, that's what this is. Okay, hold on. No, thank you, bro. Wow, this video is even shorter than I thought it was. Hold on. Okay, so the actual, okay, we get here. That starts at 6.
Everything you do online.
Okay, so this video is actually only 14 minutes long. Only 14 minutes long. Okay.
Incogni for continuing to sponsor the channel. Okay, back to it. Understanding that the cycle has existed for almost 2 decades and will continue existing long into the future.
Raymond Sycamores, thank you for the skull emoji, bro. Thank you.
On these platforms, we arrive finally at Jeremy Hambley, also known as The Quartering. Just to get this out of the way right now, Jeremy has only ever been good to me, at least personally. He pledged money in a particular legal situation. I've corresponded.
Okay. Well, look, dude. Why even make this video? What do you have to gain? Surely you could have made like a video on anywhere else so that you could put in that fucking ad read and make that easy, you know, sponsor money. Any other subject than this. You can't start with that. You can't start with well, Jeremy's been nice to me and he also gave me money in a legal situation. You can't start with that, dude. Now we already know. It's like, I don't even have to watch the rest of this video because you're already too compromised. It's like expecting Styx Hexenhammer to say something critical about The Quartering when Jeremy fucking bailed him out of jail, right? He's not gonna do that. Styx isn't gonna do it. He owes too much to Jeremy. It's like expecting Melanie Mack to say something about Jeremy. She's not gonna do that. She's in his fucking pocket, basically, or he's in hers, or he's trying to be.
With him about topics. He's covered my work before a few times on his channel, and I have nothing negative to say about him on a personal level. However, his entire mainstream online identity is built around attacking people. That's just what he does. The Quartering is a central pillar of the right-wing drama ecosystem on YouTube, and also other platforms for that matter. So when we talk about the concept of mob mentality, it's a little bit ironic to see the mob turning their attention to him in particular. However, the scale that we're talking about right now is so big, so fast, and with no end in sight, it makes me want to put out some words of caution. I'm not here to be hyper-specific, but the lightning-fast recap is that Jeremy appears to have intense, rather frequent rants all across social media about how powerful he is and all what he can do to his enemies. He's threatened to have channels removed before when those channels criticized him, which ended up actually happening, by the way, creating a situation where people speculate about what level of influence he might have inside YouTube itself. What started as a simple feud between him and a couple of smaller channels became widespread backlash against him, his co-host.
How can you know the whole backstory? See, if this dude literally didn't know anything, it'd be one, but it's like a Chrissy Mayer story. Okay, so you know all of the drama, you know the backstory, you know about all of the grievances that, you know, the Kino Casino, their fans, and all these other people have with the Quartering right now, with him abusing like his connections at YouTube to get another channel, get people deplatformed despite being a conservative free speech warrior for years, and going to war with other people who've done that same type of shit from the other political orientation. You know all of this, but then you still try and run defense for him anyway? And then you wonder why. Because you got some fans of upper echelon. They're trying to run defense for their boy running defense. You know, he's trying to run that good D for the Quartering. They're trying to run that good D for upper echelon. It's good deception, right? And they're trying to say, you guys just aren't watching the video. You guys just didn't watch it with any sort of nuance in mind. What nuance? This dude, people have been shitting on Jeremy because he did the one thing that you can't do if you're, well, there are two things. There are two things that you can't do if you're a content creator that isn't actually breaking the law. And that is deplatforming people through like nefarious means. Not just because they're actually posting content that breaks the TOS or is just horrendous, like them abusing children or some shit, but also, you know, them actually just deplatforming people because they don't like what they're saying. And the other thing is being a content thief, right? Those are the two things that you can't do if you're gonna be a content creator. And he did the first one, and he did it fragrantly, and he basically bragged about it. That's what everybody's mad about him about. There's no nuance to be had. This is a black and white issue. You can't ask people to be nuanced on a black and white issue.
Anyone who calls him a friend. The internet began speculating about his sex life, his drinking habits, his family, anything, everything. Because during a feeding frenzy, there are no...
I mean, he said that shit. he said that shit. The reason we know about Adam Seller's bulltivities at all, it all starts with him and Adam's activity on the internet. We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know that Adam is into swinging and shit like that if Adam Seller didn't put it on the internet. We wouldn't know that Adam Seller went to Jeremy's house if Jeremy hadn't told us several times that Adam comes to his house with his big titty wife and they both get into the jacuzzi together.
People are once again making tens of thousands of dollars, collectively probably hundreds of thousands of dollars, dedicating their entire online existence to shit-talking this man. And while I certainly have heard things that give me pause, like the allegation that he tricked another creator and nearly destroyed her fledgling tea business, even if those things are true, witnessing a world where hundreds of creators, perhaps millions of people in total, are just relentlessly pulling a man's life apart, it does make me pause. Here's why. As the cycle...
Because he gave you money and he helped you in a legal situation, which is fine. I'm gonna be honest, bro. It's fine. If Jeremy actually has been a solid dude to you and he helped you when you were in a very difficult position and you feel compromised about this shit, that is fine, right? It's fine for you to stay friends with Jeremy and, you know, not want to go against him because he helped you when you were in a really bad spot before. But you can't make a video like this and expect us to not say some shit about you, because this is sweepy squad activities, right? This is peak Janny activities right now, bro.
Continues, exacerbated horribly by Jeremy's own personal actions. As it spins out of control, the relative quality of analysis or commentary or criticism, big air quotes around that word, because that's really just a shield that people use now to just viciously harass someone they don't like.
And also, this is just all that really happened is that he became a lol cow. That's basically all that happened. This is why, I don't know, I see people, and some people like him, like John Della Rose. John Della Rose also is one of the, it's just a hate mob. It's just a cancel mob. They're trying to destroy the quartering just like the woke leftists try and destroy everyone else. And it's like, no, he's just being treated like the lol cow that he is. That's it. Like, people are we're just treating him like we would treat Dark Side Phil or Wings of Redemption or Low Tier God, all these other, you know, classic lol cows we've all come to love and enjoy, like Cyrax, like, you know, King Cobra JFS, RIP. This is how we're treating them. And there's like, it's no different than how we treat any other lol cow. And people are like, well, he's not a lol. Yes, he is, dude. He's actually worse now. He's actually worse than a lot of other lol cows are right now. Dark Side Phil is starting to give him the Review Tech USA's treatment where he's speaking down on quartering. Like, Phil honestly thinks that Jeremy, aside from having more money than him, is like at a lesser point in life. And I think he might be right, honestly. I think he actually might, because I'm pretty sure that Cat isn't being fucked by like a Sky Bull. I'm pretty sure Cat isn't being fucked by a Joe Bull. I'm pretty sure, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people aren't fucking Cat at all. I'm sure he's not fucking Cat either. But still, you know, he can at least have that W over Jer. That's the level that he's at. So that's all that's going on here. We aren't doing anything else to this dude. LJ Carr, thank you for $10. This is a small thank you for the last live stream. Your narration transformed quartering failed self-improvement journey to my real one. Hey, bro, I'm glad to hear that. You make them changes, bro. This is going to be your year. And next year can be your year too. This could be your fucking decade, bro. The 20s could be lit for everybody in chat right now. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure, thank you for $5. The fact that Kino Casino A-logging Six Texan Hammer could lead to Chrissy Mayer potentially getting removed from FNT is wild. Timeline decisions matter. This really is all Styx's fault. You know what? You know what this is? This is all because of Stolas. All of this shit is because of like Stolas's curse on fucking Styx. Just, it's like area of effect. It's just impacting all these other people. First it hit him, then Stolas moved on to the quartering, and then it hit like Melanie Mack, and now it's hitting fucking Chrissy Mayer, and it just keeps going. What if Stolas made a deal with the Magichan demon? Because that's probably something that happened. I mean, demons probably talk to each other. It's like, hey, bro, I'm possessing this nigga right now. I'm fucking up his life. You know, he just sold me his soul so he could get some pussy this weekend. I can't believe it. Like, it's crazy. How are you doing, right? And they just ask each other how many souls have they tricked retards into giving them this week or some shit like that. So maybe the Magichan demon and Stolas, they're like, okay, you give me these souls that you stole, you know, for Chris Chan, and I'll give you Taro Warwick, I'll give you Jeremy Hambley, Chrissy Mayer. You know, it's just like a back and forth. It's like you know, when they're trading for rookies at the NBA and shit like this. They're trading for souls.
That's sad.
The Magichan demon, he had to get creative because people started picking up on the Sonichu medallion trick. He's like, all right, I gotta adapt a new strategy. I gotta I gotta link up with Stolas, and we're gonna make a super team, and we're just gonna take all these lol-cal souls and bag them up.
The majority of what's happening at the moment. But anyway, as it spins out of control, everything, the quality of everything, the caliber of analysis and digging, investigation, commentary, all of it goes down rapidly. See here.
Or maybe Hannah Claire is a Styx and Stolas acolyte who's planning to steal the channel's corpse. You know what? It is kind of strange how Hannah Claire just disappeared the minute that like the drama hit its peak. It's almost like, okay, the plan is now going into motion like it should. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe the actual acolyte. What if Styx, he thinks that he's like this super devotee. He thinks he's Stolas's top guy. What if Stolas's actual top guy or top girl is Hannah Claire, and Hannah Claire is the actual person who Stolas is actually trusting to make sure all this shit flows like it's supposed to?
This is a supposed lawsuit, okay, being brought forward by some random guy on social media as a class action retaliation against the quartering and YouTube, for that matter, for the
Goldie, thank you for the $2 Canadian. He did it flagrantly. The Real Pool Boy, thank you for $5. Just went by that video, disliked it, and talked shit.
Image that they've caused. Just one problem.
Brad Corman, thank you for $10. The video this ninja made prior to this was about the plague of low-quality slop content on YouTube. What are the oranges for? Whoa, buddy. Yeah, I saw that video. Well, I saw the title of it. He's talking like YouTube needs to delete more low-effort slop videos. Well, okay. Should they delete the Quartering's channel then? The Quartering has 3 or 4 different channels where he basically makes the same low-effort reading the news slop content. Surely he can get rid of that. Also, they're all full of stolen shorts. So I feel like if YouTube is going to keep deleting channels, Jeremy's, at least a couple of them should be on the chopping block.
Actual gibberish. The man claimed to have a law firm in the initial post, and yet the lawsuit is represented pro se, which means there isn't a law firm. And it's also a draft, not an actual lawsuit. What's more,
It's funny he uses this shit lawsuit when Flate lawsuit is the only reason they got YouTube to do anything so far. Oh yeah, this is what I mean about like Jeremy is a really bad strategist when it comes to anything, not just business, but in general. He doesn't think about things very well, because he forgot that YouTube's European branch HQ is in Ireland, right? And Flaked, being an Irish citizen, right? He has certain privileges that other people outside of like not just Europe, but outside of Ireland don't get. So then when his lawyer brought this to Google's attention, they were like, ooh, that's a problem. And they immediately like just yanked the bitch who was working those sneaky little tricks behind the scenes for Jeremy. They took her off and they said, okay, we can't give you back your channel, but you guys can make new ones.
The entire thing centers almost exclusively on DMCA.
So literally from the beginning, this means that, okay, he successfully got rid of their original clip channel, but in the end, he didn't like succeed. It was a temporary, it was like the most Pyrrhic victory I've ever seen in internet history. He took like it's like he fought a war, right? He's currently in a war. He won literally one, it's basically Japan. Jeremy is basically Imperial Japan in World War II. But instead of conquering their way throughout the rest of Asia before getting beaten back, they literally only succeeded in bombing Pearl Harbor. And then they lost every battle after that, and they still got the nukes dropped on them. That's Jeremy.
Digital Millennium Copy.
All of his cities were burned to the ground in firebombing raids, and then he got 2 nukes dropped on him. But hey, at least Pearl Harbor succeeded, so.
Copyright Act, which has nothing to do with the entire situation. DMCA is not a component here at all. And the rest of the lawsuit in turn focuses on one of the smaller channels that Jeremy had problems with on a personal level, despite that channel explicitly not wanting to even be associated with it. I'm tempted to use the word joke right now, but there's no joke here because the feeding frenzy is now attracting people who are genuinely unhinged. This guy, Chad Hughes, unironically, okay.
What a name.
And I wish him well.
Chad Hughes.
I'm not making a joke right now. He appears to be suffering from AI psychosis, which is a real thing, by the way. People now suffer psychotic breaks from reality because of extended sycophantic chatbot cycles. And yet, again, no joke here, this delusional lawsuit draft, which has no future, no relevance, and no legitimacy whatsoever, this lawsuit draft is being held up, talked about, propagated, and spread by massive creators on the platform, by literal lawyers who should obviously know better, and by all sorts of
Are you a lawyer?
Critics who are now obsessed with the concept of raking in views and ad revenue at the direct expense of accuracy and effort. When the feeding frenzy happens, people eat each other. Friends become enemies, at least the ones that only ever cared about the money to begin with.
The fact that he's going for that just shows how little he had to work with. He had nothing besides that one lawsuit. There's nothing else.
And the mob begins picking new targets, expanding the parameters of what qualifies as fair game in this escalating protocol where
Sean said it was trash. Well,
drama hit.
Well, what is he saying? Like, lawyers should know better. It seems like the lawyers who do know better did know better.
Advise anything and everything just to keep it going. This is a disconcerting thing to witness, but the sad fact of the matter is that you can easily avoid this happening to you.
Legal mindset, legal I like Ladyboy's mindset covered the lawsuit where he's like, legal mindset, he's like, you know, lolcow adjacent himself. He's what I was talking about earlier, where lolcows, they have that window of self-awareness, that pivot point to stop them from going down the full path to lolcowdom.
Personal story, okay? Way back in the day, I did a video game review. I mean, this was quite a long time ago. It was a bad one, all right? I don't remember if it was just a bad day or if I was lazy, I don't know, or just genuinely did a bad job, but it was a terrible video and I got criticized for it. By itself in a vacuum, that's no big deal. It happens. But when you're facing backlash, you have three distinct separate options. You can apologize, which is not something I'm inclined to ever do. You can defend yourself, which is something I'm inclined to do. Or you can go silent. I tried to defend myself, which was stupid, and resulted in a variety of different videos being made, some of which went kind of viral in the video game world, then leading to a very impactful decision point. When you're facing the fledgling mob, okay, not the full-blown final form boss monster mob mentality, I mean the fledgling mob that's just beginning to form, there is one singular correct approach. Ignore them. As soon as the mob mentality starts, as soon as people begin to feel a sense of camaraderie.
That does not work in like a case like this. Again, this guy's problem is the same problem that Jeremy himself has, where he thinks that Jeremy's problem is that he sees the world in news cycles. So he thinks people are going to care for a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 if the story has legs and it's like a big, huge story. But by the end of the month, by the end of those 3 weeks, it'll be over with. That doesn't work when you're a lolcow, buddy. That doesn't fucking Darkside Phil hasn't gotten a week of rest from these fucking detractors in almost 20 years. Almost 20 years. Phil has just stayed getting them cheeks clapped every fucking other day by the detractors, bro. And that's you right now. That's you right now, fucking Roger. Is that what the channel is called? Roger. Let me see. Roger. Is that what it was called? Where is it? Where is it? Maybe if I type Roger quartering. Oh, it's not on YouTube. Oh, is it on Rumble? Oh, it is on Rumble. Okay, let me go to Rumble it real quick then. Roger. Oh, there he is. Upcoming. Live. Okay, so he has a Roger, and this is where you never want to be. You never want to be in a place where you have a raw restream account, right? Because that means that the trolls are never going away, right? They're never going away.
With each other.
Jeremy thinks that he can just patrol the trolls in his chat. That's not going to happen. And you can't just wait. There's no waiting it out because the problems that attracted the trolls, he hasn't addressed them. And it's too late now, right? It's actually Roger live on Rumble. See, the problem is Mikey is racist against dark mode. I sure am. Refuse. Get that dark shit. Keep that dark shit away from me. Fuck that. Twitter? Sure. YouTube? Maybe. Kiwi Farms and fucking Rumble? No, sir. No, sir. I can only take so much darkness in my life. Anyway, the problem is it's too late now. It's too late for him to... There was a window for him to actually apologize, talk to his YouTube rep, maybe try and get their channels restored, own up to what he did, and then like go to rehab or some shit, and then try and formally apologize and try and make things right. That's over with now. Like, it's actually, we are so far beyond that even being an option now, because now we know for certain the channels are gone. They're into the ether. He still hasn't owned up to anything. At this point, if he actually tries to apologize for shit, it's actually just going to be, we know it's just going to be him trying to save his ass. So it's over with, bro. It's done. He can't go back. We're over we crossed the lolcow Rubicon when it came to the quartering.
Around hating you as their sole rallying cry, the only correct answer is stop talking. Ignore them. They don't exist. They're not important, and you'll let the mob dissipate. The wrong...
That won't work. That can't work with Jeremy. Every time Jeremy tries now, because they're in his chat. They're in his chat, bro. They're not going to go away. Gwynn, thank you for $20. If that's the case, instead of 2 nukes, he got Czar-bombed, Dresden, and Siege of Alicia, his remaining viewers. Every single decisive defeat, all stacked on top of each other.
Approach is to try and defend yourself. Even if you think you're right, hell, even if you are right in a lot of circumstances, internet mobs are not governed by social expectations of reason or logic. They're governed by money, outrage. It's particularly a few shepherds usually that kind of whip them into a frenzy and then kind of unleash them in a certain direction. But they're governed by money, outrage, and the thrill of collective.
That's so, man, that's so lame. That's so lame for him to try and presume that everybody who has a problem with the quartering is just either they're an attack dog of the Kino Casino or they're just in it for money. Look, nigga, I'm here because this shit is hilarious, right? The fact that I could also make money while doing it is just the bonus. I'm planning on I have a stream on Monday that has nothing to do with, okay, it has something tangentially. It's like how this tangentially has something to do with the quartering. That also, even more tangentially, like even more degrees of separations, separating what I'm going to be talking about in the quartering drama for the Monday stream, right? And it's because I think that it's funny and it needs to be talked about. I need to bring this shit to you guys' attention because it's fucking hilarious, right?
Them to attack all at once together. It's not a good
I am part of the hate mob. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not a piranha. I'm 100% part of this feed and frenzy, but I'm in here for very, very shallow means, very shallow, self-interested, I just want to laugh means.
Thing. Typically, although you could argue it happens to a deserving target here and there from time to time, but the only way to make it stop is never engage with it in the first place. That's pretty much impossible for most people. The feeling of having a few thousand, or worse yet, tens of thousands of people finding every single conceivable way to personally reach you and try to brute force their criticism into your head because in their mind that's what you deserve. That feeling is indescribably awful. But at the very same time, seeing as I've spent half the video condemning the concept of internet hate mobs, at the very same time, under certain unfortunate circumstances, it's the only recourse people think they have. Most of the YouTube feeding frenzies that I've personally witnessed didn't fall into this category, but once in a while, situations present themselves where the platform as a whole refuses to solve things, right? Like YouTube itself just refuses to help. When that happens...
Wait, what? What?
Category, but once in a while, situations present themselves where the platform as a whole refuses to solve things, right? Like YouTube itself just refuses to help.
What would YouTube do about this? Like, what would YouTube do? You want YouTube to come in like a daycare teacher? Want YouTube to come in like a school teacher breaking up a fight and try and help the quartering? Like, what's going on? Are there any TOS violations going on with all the content being made about Jeremy? Why does he deserve so much protection? If anything, YouTube has already done too much.
When that happens, for lack of a better example,
if it wasn't for YouTube, or if it wasn't at least for that YouTube rep, what the fuck is this? If it wasn't at least for that YouTube rep, this wouldn't have been a problem to begin with.
There's an antibody reaction. The community comes together, and much the same way white blood cells begin attacking a virus in the body, commentary channels and veterans of the platform begin attacking the perpetrator. Falsely flagging content and getting other channels struck down is genuinely damaging. I mean, you're screwing with people's livelihoods at that point. If you get a channel deleted, I mean, presumably there's a person and their family on the receiving end of it that no longer has income. It can be a very big deal.
Okay, so he just stated that. That's what he just said. But, right, it's like, because he comes to that conclusion. He says it plainly. He understands what everybody's problem is. What is he going to say after that?
It's effectively a cardinal internet sin, in my view. So when that happens, especially if it seems like the issue is being top-down supported.
Cardinal internet sin, okay.
Or exacerbated by the platform, in this case YouTube, which appears to be the case here with Jeremy. Although, I can't say for certain, even when that's simply...
Come on, dude. Come on. Why are we still doing that? Why are we still doing this? I can't say that... Jeremy is his boy. He's this guy. He helped him out. He's been nothing but good to him. He helped him out when he was in a tough legal situation. But come on, dude.
It appears to be the case with no...
I just say something. I go online. I say to Josh Moon, I'm going to take down their channel using my non-YouTube rep. I'm going to take down their clip channel first, and then I'm going to go for kick, and then things start happening literally in the order that you say they do. And also Warski's channel goes down at the same fucking time, despite it not even having any strikes or even being related to the Kino Casino's clip channel, despite Warski just happening to be on it. It's bullshit, dude.
Proof. The reaction that you get from...
I wonder if he would have made this video if he had received the news that they can now make new channels now. I wonder if he would have done that then.
The wider community is visceral. People attack, they try to shut down this harmful presence with the only mechanism at most of their disposal, in this case, vicious criticism. And despite my personal feelings about where the line is, what is or is not too much for any given case, the simple fact is that no one should be surprised that it's happening at all. Ultimately, I don't want to spend my time investigating drama. I've done it before, okay? I'll probably do it again at times, but what I really want is to investigate corrupt companies, speak to whistleblowers, examine the damage that big tech firms...
Is that really what you're doing? Is that really what you do on this channel? Man, I didn't know that. You're like CoffeeZilla, basically. YouTube should ban more channels. Okay, that doesn't really seem like you're going after corrupt companies. And speaking of whistleblowers, let's see. Time travel assassin conspiracy theory. What? How is that? That doesn't seem like...
A JPL Research Fellowship. JPL standing for Jet Propulsion Lockheed Martin. And yet, if you connect the dots, a picture begins to form. 3 years before a man named Cole Allen infiltrates the White House Correspondents' Dinner with lethal intention, an account named Henry...
Okay, how is this? I don't know. That doesn't really seem like your channel's actually dedicated to the thing you said it is. Which is fine, but it's like, this is my problem with this dude. Why is he trying to moral grandstand? I hate dudes who have this strong desire to make it seem like they're doing something way more important than what it is that they're actually doing. Why can't you just be like, what's wrong with just being a drama channel? What's wrong with just being a drama channel online? Why does everything gotta be so fucking special and highfalutin? Well, I guess his name is Upper Echelon. Maybe he's trying to live up to the name. True Firepower, thank you for 5 gifted subs. Thank you, brother. Logistical Nightmare, thank you for another rage quit. UE really is out here trying to be the next CoffeeZilla. He should have stayed in the kiddie pool making cyberpunk guides in Division 2 loadout vids. Oh, is that what he was? Oh, okay. Well, maybe he should go back to doing that then.
Are causing, and look at the political environment.
That's a good lane. I don't know why you would leave that to do this fucking, I don't know, maybe he just has a self-important streak.
That's making it all possible. That's what I really want to be doing. For anyone who wants to discuss anything like that, let's say you work at a big company or you have something to report, there's a contact email at the bottom of our...
Oh, now he's shilling his old content. Is that the whole video? Garfield's Bizarre Adventure, thank you for $5. The idea of Stolas and Magichan sitting down together and opening booster packs of lolcows sounds hilarious. Stolas just scored a Chrissy hollow foil. Yeah, the idea that lolcows... Well, first off, this is just like taking accountability from the lolcows themselves. The idea that all of the trouble in their lives just comes down to demons having a bit of fun. It's a funny theory, though. I don't know. It probably is true with Styx. He literally, like the lore, the Styx Stolas lore goes so deep and it's so fascinating. And the thing that gets me about Styx and Stolas is that Styx treats Stolas. He treats Stolas basically like Jesus Christ. He doesn't treat Stolas like you would expect him to treat a demon, which is like, I don't know, like let's say the Manson family, right? Those guys, I could 100% believe that they were worshiping demons because they did the sort of things you would expect demon worshippers to do, which is just evil, abominable fucking shit, right? Because, you know, that's what demons get up. That's what demon worshippers, what you would expect them to get up to. But Styx, he's be like, oh, Stolas, he came into my life when I was young and, you know, he helped me progress. He helped me become a better person. I put all my faith in Stolas. He helps me garden. He helps the flowers bloom when I plant them. You know, he helped me have my beautiful daughter and all this other shit. And, oh, I love Stolas. And it's like, nigga, that's just Jesus. So you just worship a demon so you could do the things that people who are already like Muslims or Christians or Jews already. Why didn't you just pick an actual fucking religion instead of, why don't you just worship an angel or a saint rather than worship a demon who's just gonna like, just gonna fuck your soul, just use your soul as an hole. That's the only thing that Stolas is gonna do. It's so weird. Potato is me, 6660 0. Thank you for the 50 NOK. Dear Wignat, you claim to be racist, yet you use dark mode on all your devices. Curious. Turning point white mode. Quiet Rider, thank you for $2. Upper Echelon wants to code fusion, but lame. Oh, wants to be code fusion, but lame.
Website.
I can see it actually.
Honestly, that's about it. What's happening with Jeremy Hambly, the quartering, is a feeding frenzy, like many that came before it. Whether you think it's a good thing or a bad thing is up to you as an individual. But for me, I'm beginning to think it is currently going a bit too far, right? They're brandishing, the mob is like lashing out at other people that are only tangentially related. They don't really have anything to do with it. I mean, it's spreading and people are kind of desperately grasping at fragments or trickling viewership or tiny little updates. Like they're trying to keep it going because they have a vested...
Hold on, bro. Now that's another thing I'm gonna have to get to you because he's like trickling nothing. He keeps giving us content. Like, this is what I'm talking about. He thinks that the problem with Upper Echelon the problem he has is that he thinks that this is just a run-of-the-mill drama cycle, right? It's like, oh, okay, it's Quartering's turn. It's his turn to be caught up in the drama cycle, and it's gonna die down. Some people are trying to stretch. No, bro, he's an actual fucking lolcows. Lolcows don't have drama cycles where they're like the talk of the town for a couple weeks, maybe a month or two, and then it all dies down. This isn't going away, bro. People are going to be they're going to be detractors towards the Quartering probably until the end of 2026. If he can't fix it, if he can't fix these issues that people have with him right now before like late 2026, it's going to keep going forever, just like it does with Phil and all the other lolcows who never fucking, who will never be free, basically.
interest in
the only thing he's going to be able to do. Hold up. No, that's not true. I was about to say the only thing he's going to be able to do is do what Boogie and Wings and those guys just did and just go to Keemstar and try and make a couple more bucks just twerking on camera for LOLcow Live. But LOLcow Live already stated they don't want Jeremy. They're like, no, you're not allowed here. Not here, Jeremy. We have standards, Mr. Hambly. You can't come here and get an easy buck from Keemstar.
Seeing that happen, okay? They're making money. That's the biggest part of all this. And yeah, it's hard to let that go, especially when you got the biggest viewership boost you've ever seen in your channel's lifetime from this drama, so you're just unwilling to let it die. Anyway, I guess time will tell. You know, some people think he deserves it, other people think he doesn't, but...
Who are the people who thinks he does it? Because I can count the people, I can genuinely count the people who think that Jeremy doesn't deserve this shit on like one hand. And some of the people, I could have used two hands before, but he's burned some bridges, like Bering and Dankula, right? And even those guys, they were on the outs. They were like, well, you did a bad thing, man, but maybe you can just come out, you can admit it now and it'll be that bad. And then he not only didn't take their advice, he fucking destroyed their podcast that they all worked together on for years. And then he burned that bridge too. And they're like, okay, well, fuck you then, nigga.
Whatever. Regardless, it's not the first time it's happened, and it certainly won't be the last. That's it. If you want to support the channel, check out the links down below. The video sponsor.
Okay, so that was basically, you know, the Flaggot Defense Force video. Now, before we go, since I've already brought up Stolas, we'll watch this one video. Watch this one video about Styx talking about Stolas, his Lord and Savior, who he puts all his fucking faith into. This was 4 years ago, by the way. All the way back in 2021. Styx is back making videos for people who don't know. Styx is back. He's back making content. Oh, he's back. He's back and he's fucking better and badder than ever, making his slop. And he's really on it. Styx is actually working harder than fucking the quartering is right now. Look at this, dude. He put out 8 videos, like 8 videos in 24 hours, man. It's crazy.
All right, everyone, this is just a brief video letting you know, yes, indeed, the computer, as you can see, is back. So we are back in business, making Styx Hexendom, making Clankdom. That's what I'm talking about. We got a lot to talk about, though. I wish I could have been...
Like, he actually is a pirate now. Before, it was just a LARP. Before, he was actually just play pretending pirate. But now... he actually is a pirate, right? Like, he has to have the glasses on because there's some shit fucked up with his eyes. He's missing teeth. He's like, he fucking stinks probably. His hair is just matted as fuck, right? The hat is being worn. He's got tears in his fucking clothes. He can only afford 1 glove. He can't even afford 2 gloves. He can only afford the 1, right? He's been wearing the same clothes for days, right? He's probably got scurvy. He's probably going to develop scurvy very soon. He probably doesn't get enough vitamin C. He needs to go and ask Jeremy what the oranges are for and see if he can get some.
There and had my computer working when yet another assassination attempt of Trump was made. That would have been interesting breaking news since we literally...
He asked Stolas, he's like, Stolas, please, my Lord and Savior, I want to be a pirate. I want to go yar matey. And Stolas is like, say less, bro. I got you. Get that bitch, get one of your ex-girlfriends to just knock you the fuck out, just bust teeth out of your mouth. You know, get your eyes to get fucked up, make you be on the run like an actual outlaw. You got to live in your new girlfriend, your latest crazy BPD girlfriend. You got to live in this one dingy room making videos off a shitty laptop and shit with like 1 change of clothes.
We saw it live, but no, I'm never allowed such things. My electronics always break down at the worst possible opportunity, at the worst possible time. I've noticed this, by the way. Probably not by coincidence. It's the universe is trying to punish me, apparently, or something like that. But yes, I am back.
Really? You think so?
The universe is trying to punish me, apparently, or something like that.
Man, it's strange. Ain't that weird, guys? Ain't that weird how he fucking worships a demon and fucking sold his soul to a infernal prince of hell, and then his life just seemed to implode? It's like the universe is against him. That's so weird. It couldn't be Stolas. Surely not. My lord and my master Stolas, he's so magnanimous. He's so charitable. He would surely Stolas wouldn't be fucking with me because he thinks it's funny and that's the type of thing that a demon would do. Surely not. Meepit, thank you for $2. Have it in you to do the Ralph documentary? Not yet. Not yet. I'm sorry, guys. There's still some other shit I have to do. And you guys are going to understand when I see it. When you see the next few videos that are going to come out, you're going to be like, of course he couldn't do the Ralph documentary yet. Quiet Rider, thank you for $5. Styx has done something I never thought possible for me. He's made me like Foxy from One Piece. For his sins, I call Exterminatus on Styx.
But yes, I am back, and we will get to the news shortly. Don't worry, you'll have plenty of videos.
Yeah, he didn't lie. He started turning them bitches out. At least he's not being lazy. Anyway, let's get to this. Let's get to him praising his lord.
Alright everyone, it's time for the occult, video number 310, the truth of...
You can already say, I'm glad we watched this video first. Because you can already, the difference between, you would think they're two different people, right? You would think that this is like Styx's fucked up twin brother. It's like a Dave Moscato and his twin brother Andy, where one of them is just a fucking loser, play pretend trans person. That might actually be an oxymoron. Play pretend trans person, and the other person, he has like all these back issues. He fucking fights with his parents and he mooches off of every fucking person. He possibly does meth and shit like that. He says he has to walk with a cane and all that shit. Meanwhile, Andy is a healthy police lieutenant with a family and kids, and he fucking works out every day and shit. That's Styx. That's new Styx, and that's old Styx. They're like two completely different people.
Stolas. Now, I've already mentioned this particular demonic entity before. I think it was one of the early videos, actually, that I did long ago, many years ago, because I saw this particular entity. And of course, some people, they think that's superstitious nonsense. The funny thing is, a lot of them believe literally in God and angels and stuff like that. And thinking to myself, your canon specifically talks about demonic entities. Some of the canonical and extra-canonical material literally gives them distinct personalities and names, so I'm not sure exactly why you would think it was impossible for such a thing to exist, but having seen it myself, of course, I already know that. Now, Stolas, interestingly enough, I'll get into this first. The demon that I saw, of course. I saw it in the
demon that I saw.
Tangible sense. As
I just noticed the 666 in the background. Wow.
Literally when I was a little kid on my wall.
You gotta let them know. You gotta rep that. You gotta rep your infernal Lord and Savior every chance you get.
All with smoke spewing out, making noises that were vaguely owl-like, but kind of like an owl crossed with a freight train, if that makes any sense. And of course, looking at the Ars Gotia, where this demon is listed, I found, this is years later, I didn't...
Mikey, why does it sound like you're describing Spoonie and his brother Miles? I didn't intend for that, but it does, now that you break it up, yeah.
Know anything about demonology as a little kid. Now, I found out that the two main things this demon is concerned with are geology and botany. Those were literally the two biggest obsessions that I had when I was younger. I'm still kind of obsessed with them, and of course, they have a huge role within the occult, especially herbalism. I would say that my study of plants and so forth technically gave me my first literary success with Fruits of Eden and led directly into the editing spree that I've been on, which again I consider to be demonically inspired work. Now,
for people who don't know, a very, very big chunk of Styx's income over the years has been, he's basically taken public domain books about demonology and the occult and whatnot, and he has reformatted them, or I guess in some cases maybe translated them, or maybe it was just him reformatting them and then selling them on Amazon as ebooks. And you know, a hustle is a hustle. He's made a decent chunk of change doing that shit. So
when we use the term demon, I don't mean it in the Judeo-Christian sense. Judeo-Christians would say, well, demons, they're evil, they possess people, they do terrible things. I don't see it that way. I'm not a Judeo-Christian, nor do I necessarily believe in the particular Judeo-Christian ascribed character or even names of these particular entities. But insofar as in common...
Well, where else would you get it from then? Where else, like, all of your ideas on demonology are coming from fucking the shit you read in the Bible. The people who wrote these books on demonology, they got all their ideas on demons from what they read in the Bible.
In parlance, it's called...
Or in the Torah or whatever.
Stolas and has certain...
Literally, one of the demons that he's talking about, the demon that he worships, Stolas, was one of the demons who King Solomon summoned and bound with his magic ring to then do like manual labor for him, right? And build his temple. That's how King Solomon built his temple. He basically summoned all these demons and he used them as like Mexicans, right? Where it's like, okay, hey boy, build that temple for me. And then, you know, go back to hell. Demons are like, okay, are we getting paid? We getting paid, SA? No, you're going back to hell. The fuck? It's like, you're a demon, but you're still Goyim. You're not even human Goyim. I'm not fucking paying you. Go back to hell.
Certain function. That, of course, I agree with. Now, it's funny, because depictions of Stolas throughout time, and demons in general, this could almost be a separate topic. The demonic has become more and more humorous over time. If you've ever heard Hell of a Boss, it's a online...
He also, unironically, like, this is not a joke. This is not a thing. He fucks very heavy with Vizzy Pop's version of Stolas. He isn't actually a fan of Hell of a Boss. He has made videos where he's wearing like a shirt of Stolas from like Vizzy Pop's Hell of a Boss series. He thinks that this is great. It's like, oh yeah, man, this is great representation for Stolas. Stolas is gonna get so many new worshipers because of Vizzy Pop.
Series.
He reviewed the show and he thought it was good, like unironically.
Animated. It's rather funny, and Stolas is one of the main characters in this. Now, although there's nothing in the Ars Go show or any comparable work to suggest that Stolas is a sexual reprobate and an orgiastic deviant, I'm having a feeling, based on my own experience with this entity, that it would find it amusing. Would not find it to be an insult, but rather...
Stolas just told him, it's just jokes, bro. It's just jokes.
Hilarious. It's just like in my own work, I've always depicted Satan as being essentially extremely machismo, but then much like the war god Ares, if he's injured slightly or anyone has insulted him, he breaks down and basically acts like a big toddler. I find that concept to be hilarious, and so I've put it in Sickness and Hell. And a few of my morbid stories, there's one where Charles Manson actually ends up violating Satan at one point. I think some of you would find it quite funny.
Wow. Just wrote that.
It's actually quite funny.
He wrote like a fan fiction. He wrote Charles Manson fan fiction where he rapes Satan. Wow. But even I wasn't aware that Styx was that level of edgy boy. Like, Jesus.
Stolas I consider to be sort of a personal demonic entity. Not in the sense of I go and summon this entity or I feel compelled by it. But simply it's sort of a mutualistic relationship. If you don't believe in Judeo-Christian concepts of demonology and you go more into an Eastern or even New Age approach, it's basically...
He writes like a 12-year-old that discovered what naughty words are. Well, he's a fan of Vizzy Pop unironically. So, like, what do you expect?
A form of reciprocal energetic feeding, or sort of a pact, but it's unwritten in form. And
Satan mobbed by a 4'11 MK Ultra victim. Doubtful. Well, there's no. Charles Manson wasn't 4'11. Oh, he was 5'2". I did not know that. Okay. Well, that explains some things. This is coming together. I used to wonder, why was bro so mad Why was he seemingly so tilted to do all that shit? Now it makes sense. It was that manlit rage, bro. That was all it was. Like one of the craziest Napoleon complexes in American history, Charles Manson. Okay. I did not know that. Now I do.
And as I continue, part of this...
Like, Ethan Ralph could fucking take out Charles Manson. Like, Charles Manson and his Manson family. They could have rolled up on Ralph. And Ralph would have been like, I ain't scared, bitch. And he could have taken Charles Manson out. He's like half an inch taller, dude.
This is literary in nature, by the way. It pays huge dividends in literally every possible way. I feel that it's of import. Certainly, it is of import in the world. We're talking about hundreds of thousands.
Wait, read below. Oh, it says he's 5'7". Everyone says I'm 5'2" when I was arrested, but I'm 5'7", Manson said. Then I went down to 5'6". Okay, bro. If you say so, Charlie, we believe you. You're 5'7".
Of paperbacks.
Do I look 5'2", bitch? No, Charlie, if you say you are.
Sold, and this is something that up until I sort of had my own occult awakening, wasn't really, I wasn't involved with anything like that. I had some occult works. I was interested in the paranormal. I was certainly interested in herbalism and a few of these other things, and vaguely in alchemy. But other than that...
Oh, he was an alchemist.
I had no long-term goals. And by the way, at the time...
Styx was on that Full Metal Alchemist type time.
I was basically in the...
Turning coal to gold.
Doldrums, and my life was in the shitter. You drop out of college, you post-OD, so you still got anhedonia. Your family is extremely poor, there are no job prospects, and you're in the middle of a great recession. Well, what do? You have to pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Another reason why I frown upon liberal political custom.
You know what somebody said in chat? Charles Manson actually had, like, insane aura. I'll say this. He had a decent singing voice.
There's a time for living. The time keeps on flying. Think you're loving, baby, and all you're doing is crying. Can you feel? Are those feelings real? Look at your game, girl. Look at your game, girl. What a mad delusion. Living in that confusion. Frustration and doubt. Can you ever live without the game? The sad, sad game.
Charles Manson is basically proof that even if you're a short, crazy, schizo nigga, so long as you got a little bit of sauce and you can sing, you can basically pull bitches still. And you can get them to do anything. You can basically get, if you got enough aura, you got enough charisma, you can sing, you can play guitar, you can get, like, you know, obviously the women already have to be mentally ill, but you can basically get them to do anything. To be honest, Styx himself has also been on this type of timing before. He has also gotten crazy mentally ill women to just, like, swarm him. He basically had almost a harem at one point. He was going through so much pussy. You know, I guess that was, like, one of the good things of making a deal with Stolas. Stolas is like, I'm going to make you a Uber Chad. I'm going to make you an occultist Chad, Styx. I'm going to have bitches flying out from Europe just to come and hop on your dick. I'm going to ruin your life at the end of it, but you're going to live as a king, as a Chad for like a little bit. Logistical Nightmare, thank you for the rage quit. Any plans on a Ricada video? Love to hear your thoughts on white bread ass nigga lawyer with CG ties. Did you see said it would make a good miniseries? It would. His story would make a good miniseries. Honestly, Styx's life would also make a really good miniseries. This dude who was visited, who's convinced that he was visited by a demon king, which is what Stolas is. It's what the Galatia says that Stolas is. He's a infernal demon king. He was visited by an owl demon in his childhood, and he was convinced that the demon was his Lord and Savior and his friend and his compass through life. And, you know, in the end, his life ended up getting fucked up because of said demon. So his life would also make a good miniseries.
Trying to tell me that I'm a victim and I should take their handouts.
Yes, all of Styx's old hoes, they all have accounts on the Kiwi farms, and they post and they out his dirty laundry all the fucking time, including dirty laundry on each other. It's crazy. The only one who doesn't do that is Styx's ex-wife from Europe.
Fuck other
who he abandoned. He abandoned his wife and his daughter in the Netherlands.
People in the process. And anyway, I think the demonic is powerful. I think it is quite literally real. To be clear, when people ask me, do you believe in demons? Yes, I do. In the literal sense. I just don't ascribe evil and malice to them like a Judeo-Christian would, because the initially henotheistic origins of Judeo-Christianity mean that basically originally the Jews that would later lead to...
They're still married. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think so too. I don't think so... I say ex-wife, but it's more like Styx's relationship with Liz, his wife back over there in Europe, is kind of similar to Ralph's relationship with Pantsu in that they're estranged from each other. He's not together with his wife or his daughter. Actually, it's like literally exactly like Ralph in Pantsu, where he has a daughter who he had his wife with, who he and his wife had together, and then his wife took the daughter, and well, I guess no, it's like the opposite way, where his wife, Ralph's wife, took their daughter, and then she left Ralph to go back to their home country. Styx left his wife and their daughter to go back to another country. He's still married. He's just estranged from his family, is all it is.
Christianity, and I know some New Age Christians claim that's not the case. We could argue over that literally all day. You are historically inaccurate. You don't know what you're talking about. If we look at the origins, though, of that particular religion, it's henotheistic, not monotheistic. Originally, it was just, yeah, we've got all these various gods, but all those ones are idiots. All the other gods are evil. They're demons. No, only our God is the real one. They were henotheists, whereas the paganistic
That's still kind of, depending on who you ask today, that's still kind of the case. Oh, sure, yeah, Zeus and those other gods, they exist. They just aren't the true God. They just aren't the true creator of the universe. They're just like regional deities and shit. They can't compare to the fucking God of Abraham, who made everything.
Theists in the area were like, yeah, there's all these different gods, worship as you want. Maybe
there are basically two lines, right? In Christianity, Judaism, Islam, is that there are no gods, but there's just like our God, or our God is the true God, and all these other gods are like, you know, discount bootleg gods who, you know, they can't create entire universes in a week like our God can because they aren't as awesome.
A city would typically have its own god, or a city-state, or a region, a tribe, a group of people. And so if you went somewhere else, you wouldn't be worshiping your own god while you're there in the host, necessarily. If they were similar...
Something random. Thank you for $5. I remember watching Styx when I was a normie MAGA kid in 2017. Crazy what time does to a person. Rogue Dio, thank you for $2. Was Big Micah C part of Cometsgate? Herdy Def EVS. Oh yeah. Micah was part of Cometsgate. He was also a good friend of Liam. And he gave Liam a very big talking to because, well, here's what Micah is. Micah is convinced that Liam actually is very talented. It is like the best writer who Cometsgate has ever produced. Like in terms of being a writer, he thinks that Liam is probably the most talented guy in Cometsgate. But he's also like, Liam, you are like completely mentally unstable and you're fucking crazy and you keep ruining things for yourself because you can't keep anything under control. And he disavowed Liam because of that. And he was basically right.
Enough, they might overlap, they might not care. A more cosmopolitan region might not care. But if you went in among henotheists, they would say, no, that's devil worship. This is non-canonical worship because the manner or the being involved is wrong. When we talk about demons, in some cases we're quite literally talking about these tribal Baals, or Bells, as they may be called. Look at Ammon, which I believe is the first one listed in the Ars Gotia. Ammon-Ra is a thing.
How can CG play both sides in the quartering drama? I don't even know how that's possible. Like, the side that hates quartering hates CG. Like, how the fuck? Well, I guess maybe through Camelot. Maybe through Camelot, they can, like, do that, right? Because Camelot still has connections, like, through Cometscape via Enricada and shit like that. Maybe through him. But in general, the people who hate Cometscape, who hate quartering, and the people who hate Cometscape, they aren't the same, but they like fit within like the same oval of like the two circles coming together.
We've got the Nile crocodile, I believe that he's astride, and various other composites that are vaguely Egyptian in origin. This is not the only example of this happening. Beelzebub is often spoken of, even though the concept of Baal or Beelzebub, of course, is more of a general trope for simply any entity other than Yahweh, any entity other than Jehovah. So yeah, Stolas, insofar as the demonic, would be rendered a god, essentially, if you have that approach. And if you're a pagan occultist like me and you have a greater understanding than simply having read one single book or one compilation, like the Bible or the Quran, it's not just one single book, by the way, guys.
Wow.
Then I think you can go further than that. And yes, I've had literal...
Wow, that's crazy. I never heard that one before. Thank you for making that clear, buddy.
...communication with another worldly entity. Whatever you make of that, it's all good. That's about all.
All right, well.
Peace
out. Of course, the peace out. Anyway, that's about it. It was supposed to be a short stream. And it was, right? So... what the fuck am I even looking for right now? There it is. Okay. So thank you for tuning in, right? Next stream, I promise we are actually going to talk about something. The Monday stream, it's going to be big. It's going to be a big Monday stream. We're going to talk about something tangentially related to fucking quartering, because everything is right now. But it's not actually going to be about Jeremy. We're going to talk about something fresh, something fun. We're going to revisit a character that we haven't spoken of in a minute. It's going to be some fun times. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure, thank you for the $2. EVS recently shunned Liam from Cometscape again. He'll be back. He'll be back. What I mean, he'll be back. He's going to bring him back in. It's like, it's very abused dog behavior when it comes to Liam and Cometscape. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of fucked up because they treat Liam like shit, even though they're going to bring him back in. They use him for content. Like the hate mob shit that Upper Echelon was talking about, that's what they actually do to Liam over there at Cometscape. They just abuse this obviously mentally ill dude, not to like, you know, rinse Liam of any sort of accountability at all. He still does do a couple reprehensible things every now and again, you know, including flagging people's content down. So he does deserve it, but not from the likes of the CG crew. They're the least likely party to be able to talk shit about what Liam is doing. They're part of the reason why he's so fucking unstable to begin with. Anyway, thanks guys for showing up, and I will see you later. I will actually, hold up, fuck it. We're not even gonna do that. I won't even send you guys out with that. Not with the normal song this time.
There's a time.
Yeah. Send you out with some Manson. Send you out with that good shit. All right, I'll see you.
Keeps on flying. Think you're loving, baby, and all you're doing is crying. Can you feel? Those feelings real. Look at your game, girl. Look at your game, girl. What a mad delusion. Living in that confusion, frustration and doubt. Can you ever live without the game? The sad, sad game. Mad game. Just to say your love's not enough. If you can't be true, you can tell those lies, baby, but you're only fooling you. Can you feel those feelings real? Look at your game, girl. Oh, look at your game, girl. break crying. Stop trying, or you're gonna break crying. That's the game.